Alright, it's Monday night here. Night after the first video here on the little Onan. I got the head off last night, and tonight I finally found my old valve spring compressor. The vice grips are on there because the knob's loose. For some reason it turns on there. But anyhow, I don't know, that was from my small engine days. Gas engines. And I guess this is a small engine, but anyhow, pulled the valves out of the head. And you can see the seats ain't too bad. The valves are really nasty. Of course, they're dirty and somebody dumped a bottle of Marvel mystery all down in on them, but other than being really sooted up, I think the margin's really good on them. Come on, focus on that, not on the bench. There you are. They don't look like they've been... The whole motor doesn't look like it's had... don't look like it's had that many hours on it, so maybe we're in luck here. I want to clean the head up. For those of you that don't know, this is what they call an IDI. This little port here goes up into the head, and there's a pre-combustion chamber up in here under. This is the fuel injector. That's the return line. This is the high pressure line here. That's the return. There's a pre-combustion chamber up in this hole, and that's a glow plug. Now I'm just taking this intake manifold off, but yeah, so this is an IDI engine, indirect injection. For some reason I'm driving my phone nuts with a focus, so oh, come off there. It's loose enough that you can't turn it by hand, but you can. It's too easy to turn with a wrench. It's taking a whole stud out. Anyhow, you Cummins guys will know what this is, but that's a grid heater. So it had a grid heater and glow plugs. So they really wanted this sucker to be able to start in the cold weather. So, and it's air cooled. So I don't know. I kind of did a little looking around last night on the internet, and they I don't know, they were a military engine too. They used a lot of these generators in the military, so I don't think this one has a lot of hours on it. I don't think it was from the military. I think it was from around here someplace, meaning Ohio, and either they were taken out because it come from an electric company, so I think they were just replaced. Now, whether it was froze up because they replaced it because it was froze up, or it froze up after it sit in the guy's barnyard after he gave it to me. So anyhow, hopefully I get a head gasket for it, intake gasket, valve cover gasket. Hoping I can put her back together and get it running. I need to change the fuel filters and the oil filter. I haven't done anything with that. I have pumped some fuel through it because we were turning it over. And I cleaned the starter up and put it back on. and it turns over pretty freely now. I'm charging the batteries out of my truck because one of them's got a dead cell on it, I think. So anyhow, that's what's going on tonight with the generator. Yep, just an update. See if we can get her going anyhow. The generator itself's going to be another challenge, but we'll probably figure that out. So thanks for watching. Alright, it's next night or so here. I've been working, cleaning things up here. I got the oil filter off. It's making a mess, but I drained the oil out of it. When I go get parts, I want to be able to get these fuel filters. So I'm just taking the bolts out of the fuel filters here. Boy, that didn't make anything easy. Oh, that's that. Here's a fuel filter. Oh, that don't look pretty. Wonder if there's an O-ring up there. Oh, yeah. Water. Glad I got rid of that. Okay. That's the primary filter. I'm making a mess, but better to make a mess now than have trouble with it later. That other filter back there, I think is... I can't get a ratchet into it. That's the bolt right there in the middle. Secondary fuel filter. But I've drained the oil out of it, pulled the petcock out of it, because that was a pain. Looky there. There's an oil pan heater in it too. Huh. Doggone it. Alright, I need to get a wrench. And it isn't a 5/8. Let me get a 9/16. Oh, and I said I had trouble with my truck. I charged the batteries up there in the last video, and that wasn't the problem. The alternator quit charging, so I was just running on batteries. Great. Here we go. Ah! Give me one of them boogers you can't get a little bit of turn on it, that's all. Daggone it. And these filters ain't any good anyhow, but I'll take them to see if I can get new ones. So I can either get Wix filters or I can get, I think the one generator place handles on it, so if not, I can get the small engine. One hardware store locally handles a lot of small engine stuff, but I don't think they're an Onan dealer. So then I gotta go see the generator place, and they're probably more money, but they'll probably be Onan parts original. Yeah, now the filter's turning. Alright, let me set you up here a minute. It's a whole lot easier with 2 hands. Oh yeah, look at this good stuff. Oh yeah, that needs to be out of there. Now, my concern is, I did find one thing. I pulled the injectors. Oh, there we go again. I don't know if you can read this. See what them injectors say. Myanmar, Japan. All the other bolts on this thing are American. And my experience with Myanmar was that 3-cylinder diesel in the skid loader. From sitting, the plunger stuck in the fuel pump. And I don't wonder if that isn't a problem here, because we were cranking it over and we weren't getting any, I had fuel through the filters, but I wasn't getting anything out of the injection line, so I'm thinking the plungers are stuck, so I may have to address that too. So anyhow, I want to get all the new filters, oil filter, fuel filters, get that all changed, get the lines blowed out, and get my gaskets and get her put back together before I even try to mess around with it. So, and I did. I moved this box. This box was bolted in here. That was a preheater solenoid box, and it just opened up a whole area here that I can get in there and work on the fuel system. So anyhow, that's what I'm doing tonight. Yeah, so anyhow, thanks for watching. Alright, I wanted to show one more thing. I took that sediment bowl off, which was very not fun to get to. Look at the crap in that. And there's water in it, so I'm really hoping the injection system in this motor ain't shot, like rusted. Yuck. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Thought you ought to see that.